Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the TCSP Monthly Money Race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, live on Grid Vision. I am Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth by Sheldon Atkins, joined in the truck by Austin Derbyshire, and hey, we're here to bring you some of the most fun racing you can have and view on iRacing tonight. Sheldon, are you excited for tonight's drag-out race from Las Vegas?
No, absolutely. Man, I mean, look, we're going to be sitting here watching the old Gen 6 Cup cars, and these are some of the most fun cars to wheel on the service. It takes a lot of talent, and you're not going to see people aero blocking and being able to get away with a lot of the stuff that we see every week with the current Gen 7 package. So it's going to be a lot of fun with that. Also, this track, a lot of bumps, a lot of character to it, age surface, multi-groove racing. You're going to see a lot of different lanes come into play and a lot of cool close quarters racing.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. I love a good fast race, and I haven't very little experience with these cars, but we were talking a little bit before the race started, and you were giving me a little bit of detail about them. I want to hear some more during the race for sure. But first, let's talk a little bit about the track some more. You gave us a little detail. Give us some more. How about some keys to tonight's race?
Well, keys for tonight, Las Vegas being a bit of an age surface with a lot of bumps. One of the most important things, especially with this car, is that you have no rear spoiler to lean on. Save that right rear. You're going to want to keep from, chattering those tires. You get really slick here at Las Vegas, and it can cause a lot of issues for you in the long run. Second of all, nope, hang on. You're going to be searching every lap. The groove widens out a lot here at Las Vegas, and if memory serves correct, it was very pronounced with this car back in the day. So be sure to be ready to chase the car up the track a little bit and try to find a little bit more grip up against the wall. And finally, you want to get on that wheel. It's about finesse, but you're going to have a lot of loose, nervy moments, and you're going to want to have to just put the pedal down and drive yourself through it without chomping too much tire in the process.
Oh, well, there we go, folks. And now we have tonight's grid for the race. The guys who are racing for that $500 prize pool. Starting things off at the front on the inside, it's going to be Dylan Basin in the first place position. Justin Gann on his outside. Third, Landon Williams. Fourth, Spencer Peterson. Fifth, Daniel Wiles. Sixth, Wyatt Mickelson. Seventh, Randy Sample. Eighth, Russell Black. Ninth, Travis Massier. And 10th, Nick Basden.
In 11th place, thrown off the grid, we got Joe Torres with Christopher Green to his outside in 12th. 13th is going to be Larry McDonald with 14th position being brought in by John Connor. 15th is going to be Rick Wilmot with Eric Semling filling out 16th. And then running out the field is going to be Jimmy Mullis, followed by Ken Campbell.
We got some people in the chat already cheering. Let's go Daniel Wiles and Russell Black. A couple of guys that I can't see who's cheering for them there. It looks like one of their teammates. Let's take a look at watch a few of these qualifying laps here. We've got a little bit of that before the race starts, or thought we were going to be kicking things off here. But let's see. We've already got some fans in the chat. Folks, if you are watching, go ahead and say hi. Interact with us a little bit. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, if you've got a wheel, you could be out here tonight. You could be earning yourself a piece of that $500 pot. It's right there for the taking, and we've got 18 drivers on the field. That means there's room for plenty more. Go ahead and keep your eyes on these races. And remember, you can get a piece of this action. Just reach out. Here's the grid. I think we're going to get a lap here.
Run that one by me again here. How big is that prize pool tonight?
500 big ones, 500 smackers, 500 simoleons.
With $500 on the line, I don't see many friends out here in the field.
No, I want the biggest piece of that pie as well, and I think that we're going to see exactly it with these cars. I think you mentioned that it's all in the driver's hands. So if we see sliding or bumping or door rubbing, I think we're going to know that this is the decision was made.
It is an 80 lap dash too. That's all-star race territory right there.
Very true, very true. Here
I'm
comes that
excited.
starting lap. Yeah.
This right here, man. This is nostalgia for me. This car,
Ah,
this iteration of the Gen 6, this aero package, probably one of the most fun periods that I had myself on the iRacing service. A lot of good memories, a lot of good friendships I built myself running this car. Actually, that's part of the reason I'm in the booth now, because this is where OneSim got its kickoff.
hey, well, that's fun. A little piece of history for you there. A little history trivia, commentator biography trivia as well.
Yeah, this is where I met Austin over here. Also, a
Now,
much awaited welcome back to the booth for our producer Austin Derbyshire.
yeah, good to have you back here, flipping the switches and making it all happen. A couple more quick shout outs as we go around from the chat. Ginga Ninja Racing says, "Go Wilds and Black." Steven says, "Let's go Conti," and "Let's go Ken Campbell." Glad to have you guys here joining us for tonight's race, and to everybody watching, glad to have you. Go ahead and share that link around. We've got some good racing ahead. You wouldn't want to miss it. You definitely want to share it. Coming around 3 and 4, and we have a nice tight grid. The pace car's lights are off. You know what that means. It means we're going to go racing, folks. Looking for the green flag now. There up at the front, it's Basin, it's Gann. When's it going to happen? And we are go, go, go. Let's see some racing.
Good, clean restart or initial start there on the bottom for Dylan Basin. Going to get him a couple car links out in front of the field. Gann kind of left hung out to dry on the outside. Going to cycle in behind Landon Williams here through turns 1 and 2. Everybody straight for the most part here in the top 5.
Doing their best. Gann there on the inside. Wyatt Mickelson still a little bit low down on the line. Scrubs now almost down low, but he's going to go ahead and hold off Spencer Peterson, who's just got that outside line. It goes closer to the wall, I think, a little bit than Wyatt. Now going to get in line. Out in front still, Basin with a rocket ship out in front of Landon Williams right now. He's a man apart, but he looks like he doesn't need any help. If the guys behind him get tightened up, though, he's going to have some competition.
No, and there's no such thing as help with this package. The draft, very minimal. As you see right now, the 88 machine taking a dive. That's Daniel Wiles diving down to the inside of Gann here through 3 and 4. Good clean pass there.
Yeah, I have very little experience watching these cars, but it's been a while for some people in the chat since they've driven this car. When's the last time you drove this one?
On a track that wasn't Daytona or Talladega, it's been since they pulled this car in 2019 or 20.
Oh,
yeah, it was
good
2019 when
bit
they pulled this.
Okay, this is a good throwback then for the folks who have been racing that long. You might have some memories yourself. If so, you might remember being side by side like we've got right here, the 80 of Larry McDonald. Now he's back in 14th, but he's still putting it in 2 wide right now across from the 15 of Ken Campbell.
I'll say one thing, Wiles is pretty quick right now, making quick work on the 5 machine of Landon Williams. Getting right up to the back bumper, about a tenth and a half.
Rewind. Let's see. Oh, who's
what
that?
a
Contact.
Oh, back in. Oh, save it.
Save it off the wall. Keep off the wall. Phew. Larry McDonald saving it, falling back to the end of the line, but what a save from that 3 wide position. He was up on the outside, just ended up getting the door.
That was impressive.
Good
That car
save.
should have gone around there. And now looking at the 5 machine of Landon Williams trying to hold off a hard charging Daniel Wiles right behind him. Wiles set some of the fastest. Wiles set some of the fastest laps on track right now.
That's a good little pack right there. That group of 4 right there, that's coming up on the second place position, trying to fight for it. Here's the onboard with Daniel Wiles, looking through the number 5 of Landon Williams. What a great view of the brake caliper for a second. And there. And back to it. Still some 2 wide situations going on very close to the front.
Yeah, Wiles going to try and fend it off up there on that outside line, but I really think that he might just be losing the ghost on the car here early in the run. That 88 machine just doing a great job sticking right down there on the bottom and not putting a whole lot of heat in the tires while he's doing it.
as you said, it's in the hands of the driver. Up to the
And-
wall now goes the 88. Phew, with just enough clearance.
He's got him. Now, a lot of people really struggle here at Las Vegas, especially in these cars, being able to hold the paint all the way through the corner through 1 and 2. If you can make it work, you can really preserve some of that right side tire and build a good long run pace out of it. So Wild's doing a good job of it now. Somebody just about lost it on the apron back there, though.
Might have been Nick Basden. Basden falling down to 14th place. 15th. He was up
car.
there
There it is, right
briefly.
there.
Yeah, he was
30
up there
machine.
for a
He was
little
dead
bit.
sideways.
Unfortunate. Hearing a few apologies over the radio.
A bit of a checkup there from the 13, and 29 didn't really have much time to react to it. A little bit of contact with the left rear. Everybody walks out of it straight, though.
Yeah, we got 80 laps ahead of us. No brakes here, so there's going to be a bit of green flag pitting at some point. But I assume these guys have got full gas. I don't know how long the gas lasts in these cars. Do you have any insight into that?
Not too drastically different from what we see these days. Fuel cells haven't seen a whole lot of change throughout the years.
About 40 laps, 45 laps then?
About 45 laps. Ideally, what they're going to do is cut it right in the middle.
Yeah. Start seeing people pit around 40, 44, 42. Dead center. That'd be the place to do it. Woo! That was a close
17.
move right there. Yeah.
17 trying to pull a little bit of side draft on the 24 machine through 1 and 2.
Now you mentioned the aerodynamics of these cars. Is that side draft a viable option here?
Well, I'm not sure if they ever ended up modeling it for these cars, because I remember back in the day we did not have side draft at all in these things. Like the side draft, the way it worked back then was you just get beside somebody and you'd run faster to match their pace, because the draft model didn't exactly line up with the tail end of the car. But not able to really utilize it on the super speedways because the draft pack, or the speedways, because the draft package is so much different on these mile and a halves.
This 4-wide pack has really been interesting. That's John Connor in the back corner there. Moving up, we're going to put the camera on Travis Massier, one of our 2 Canadian drivers. But this, yeah, they have not really sorted out this pack in the back. There we go. A little bit of sorting going on. That beautiful blue car, though, out in front. That's the, which I can't get the number on that. I think that's Christopher Green. No, that's Christopher Green's in the 17. I think I'm looking at Russell Black or Randy Sample there. Yep. Thank you very much, sir.
24 machine's looking pretty good back here, though.
Very true. Yeah, these guys, okay, finally have sorted out. They were too wide for at least a couple of laps, 2 by 2, in fact, for at least a couple of laps there. But it looks like things have sorted things out. Russell Black moving to the front of that group. Randy Sample, right now we're at the onboard from him as he comes around through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Randy's clicking off some pretty competitive lap times here. 32.6 the last lap. In comparison to what your leader's running, he ran a 32.5, so not too far off front row pace.
Yeah, he's just about on it. I was about to say, I was looking up at Dylan Basin, and Dylan Basin's doing about the same. He just hit a 32.7. So there are some people in the middle of the pack who have got a chance, based on pace and based on where we are in the race, still relatively early, to make their way up with time.
Tell you what, if I'm Basin, I'm starting to sweat a little bit, because if he looks up in the mirror, he's going to notice that 88 machine of Wiles is just slowly inching his way closer and closer, a tenth faster the last lap.
Can he do it? Right now, only a half a second off between Basin and Wiles up at the front. Wiles up 3 positions from where he started this. Basin's still in first.
And Bason's going to click off a little bit better over time, but it looks like Wiles is going to get a better 1 and 2 here.
And this is where the driver really comes into play. Like you said, if Wiles is going to catch up, it's going to be through racecraft. Very good. Got a little update. We have one of the racers out on the field is the very high-ranked Jimmy Mullis, a pro. and he's mixing things up with us tonight as sort of an extra racer of sorts. But remember, folks, you could still get out here and get a slice of this if you wanted to. And yeah, when I'm by extra racer of sorts, I mean to say specifically he's not eligible for tonight's prize money. So if you're out there talking about who's winning tonight's money, just remember that Jimmy Mullis is up running fourth right now, but that money is not on the line for him, just for fun.
That's a good thing for everybody else in the field, because Mullis in these cars, I remember, was absolutely devastating to a lot of fields back in the day. Looks like Basin's really picked it up, though, starting to pull back out ahead of Wiles. I think Wiles is starting to get a little bit tight there in 1 and 2. Hasn't been able to get down on that bottom line like we were seeing this first handful of laps. Him kind of cycling up to the top now a little bit. Not able to hook it how he was.
I want to watch that line a little bit here, trying to follow Daniel Wiles, because this is where we get analytical now. We've got everybody lined up in a pretty good position for some long green flag racing. So tearing apart Daniel Wiles' lap and seeing what he can do to try to close the gap with Dylan Basin is really the question right now. How does he do that? As you said, he's trying to hook a little bit lower. He's trying to hold on. Did pretty good there, but let's see what the exit looks like. Looks not bad.
And I feel like he's probably lost a little bit of the handle on that right front tire. It looks like the car is building a little bit tighter from up here. You see him not really being able to get down and commit all the way through the corner to the bottom, like you see Mullis doing back there, 2 cars back. That right there, that's going to be the magic sauce for the 29 machine.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, let's give it a few more laps here for Daniel Wiles. Here comes a move, though. Down on the inside, Jimmy Mullis.
Making a clean pass on Pearson here. They're going to be side by side down the back straightaway, though. Neither one's going to be able to really pull an advantage. The advantage is going to go to Mullis here as he dives it down in turn number 3, just a little bit deeper.
That's a fast machine right now. Mullis is up 14 positions from where he started. And on a field of 18, that's a pretty good jump.
A very solid throwback to Kevin Harvick's first ever start in that 29 machine. Looks pretty good. It'll be the Rockingham 01 entry for Kevin Harvick.
I love these throwback paint schemes.
Oh, got one around. The 80 machine.
Big slide.
McDonald.
Might be out.
This is a rough pit entry.
Yeah, really unfortunate. It looks like he had lost control of the vehicle. He was coming in and then
came in a little hot, a little bit shallow of an entry after he got up there on the apron or the transition.
Yep. And he'll be over the wall. There goes Larry McDonald. Thanks for coming out tonight. We take a look back at the front, see where the battle's at.
Right now the battle's shaking up for second place. Mullis getting up into the wake of the 8 machine of Wiles. Well, 8 on the ticker, but 88 on the car. He's all over the back bumper.
Get it.
Hey, it's going to get pretty easy here. Mullis doing a great job saving the tires on that 29 machine.
I've been seeing how Mullis has, earned his stripes, so to speak, as this race has gone on. Up now 15 places. He takes second place. Clean. Super clean. You don't think these guys are giving him a little room, do you?
Well, in these cars, it was very much, if you had it, you had it. If you didn't have it, you didn't have it. And it was very much a give and take game with this particular package. Because if you sat out there trying to hold somebody off, you're fighting enough inside of the car when you're getting passed by people. Like, as you see right there, the 88 machine really loose coming out 3 and 4. You don't want to sit out there and, try and hold these guys off. You want to let them tires cool down a little bit, try to build the balance back to the positive. And you get out there and try to hold these guys off, and odds are you're probably going to find yourself overdoing it and running out of talent and spinning yourself out.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do want to give a little room. Then you don't want to, because overdoing it will cost you everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's a very fine line with these cars.
Here comes a pass. Ooh, almost. Looks like the 5 wants it. Landon Williams is going to take the position now. He's back to where he started up in 3rd.
Yeah, Williams, that's a good sleeper. He's been sneaky fast here all night. Looking really good as we get into the later stages of this run.
And we're crossing through lap 26 right now, I believe. A little over a quarter of the way through tonight's race. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Nice to have you there if you're watching on YouTube. Here live on Grid Vision, this is the Team Conti monthly money race. TCSP, Team Conti Sim Performance monthly money race. There we go.
Tell you what, Basin is absolutely waving those Lowe's colors with pride right now, though. Running away from the field looks very familiar. Old Jimmy Johnson paint scheme. God, I just miss having access to these cars on official servers. They need to bring them back.
Well, you know, this is probably your best opportunity right here, a situation like this where you've got a great team putting together a great opportunity to get out there and race these cars against guys who really know how to race them.
He's slowly starting to sneak himself up into the picture here.
This is where it's going to get difficult because there is that huge Sahara Desert gap between him, and Jimmy Mullis, and Dylan Basin. And now we're going to get lap traffic starting to work its way up into the field. The field has officially met. Or is about to meet.
I'm going to get on board here with the old Lowe's machine here, Basin. Nice and steady here.
Ooh. I think there's a chance that he is working those tires a little bit hard, leading this group.
I think at this point in the run, he's got what he's got. I think he's done a great job conserving what he had in the earlier stints, and now he's just kind of able to cook with it. You know, I did talk earlier in the race about how the groove kind of moves here at Las Vegas. You see him going up to the top now, trying to find a little bit more time. Going to build a lot of momentum down the long straightaway here on the front stretch, going up there. And you kind of want to cycle to the middle through 1 and 2. You know, just everything you can to keep the momentum up. And this is textbook Las Vegas. This is what, you know, you see when we come here. Still running 0.2 of a second quicker over Mullis right now in second place. So I think that 48 machine's basically got this thing on lock.
Yep. Yeah. And if this pit strategy plays out the way I'm sure that he expects it to, and if he can stay out of lap traffic, this thing is could very well be sewn up all the way as early as lap 32. And it's a good mixture of who's behind the wheel and what's under the hood here tonight. That's in that 84 that is keeping it very alive and very ahead of everybody behind him.
Well, we'll look back on my notebook from back in the day, and as far as the trends go, the first caution of these things always seems to happen about 5 laps after the leader's pit, and he hasn't unlapped himself yet. So you'll want to keep your eye out on that.
Well, we'll see. I think we're only going to get 1 pit tonight, most likely.
Nope, 1 on the grass, the 24 machine of Sample. Big slide out of turn number 4.
He's off the line now. We'll throw it in the way back machine, maybe. Get a look at what happened to him.
Going for the throttle here. Just gets a little bit of that snap, a little bit of that looseness when the banking falls off out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Once you get a lot of heat in the tires, the straightaways on like the D-shaped ovals and the quad ovals in this car were more troublesome than the corners themselves. Because it's flat, you still had to put a little bit of wheel into it, but since you got on that right rear so much here on the run, all the car wanted to do was snap around on you. I think you saw a little touch of that there with Sample.
Yeah, and then it just amplified. It amplified right through the car, snapped it out from under him, and we saw Sample have to recover through the grass. Now we've seen some crazy recoveries tonight too. Basden's had to recover, Samples had to recover. It's been wild.
Two cars under a blanket right here, though. This is the battle for fourth spot. Peterson leading it with Gann sitting there in fifth, and Wiles bringing up the rear. Slow pack. And the amount of patience it takes to really be able to get moves done in this car. You just got to pick your line and just commit to it and hope that the other guy makes a mistake.
That's kind of the name of the game tonight, though. Hope the other guy makes a mistake.
Gann with a good run on the bottom here on the front straightaway, going to take over that fourth spot, but only for a second as Pearson tries to fight back on the outside line. Think it's going to go the way of Peterson here on the backstretch, though. And Gann's now under fire from Wiles.
This is where the battle's at right now, folks. This is where the heat is located in tonight's race. This battle around the fifth place position, fourth, fifth, battle for second. There is a lot going on here that Basin might have to end up dealing with once these pit stops start pulling in.
Oh, and also, while we've been watching this, Williams has overtaken Mullis for second position.
Didn't expect that.
And just about clobbered the wall coming out of turn two there.
Let's watch this pass here. Take you back in time. Smooth, smooth, smooth. He's down to the inside, making the move. Oh, wow.
Mullis got into the fence on the front straightaway.
That'll take the wind out of your sails. But only briefly. We are back in the present day. And Jimmy Mullis is still chasing down
Pearson in the wall out of two.
Wow, yeah, I think the wall is starting to make itself known as people's tires start to get a little bit buttery.
Here comes Wiles charging down to the inside. Going to come out about dead even with Pearson. Pearson will get the momentum off at the top of turn four, though. Going to clear him at the start-finish line. What does Wiles have in the tank, though? Is he going to be able to get back to him?
Let's see. Wiles, 88 machine, still sitting behind that 17 by about two, maybe car length and a half. Can he close that gap? Side by side behind him.
Oh, got a slide job.
Ooh.
I think it's a lap car on fresh tires. Never mind.
Yeah, he just wants to be a part of the. He just wants to be a part of the fun.
Well, nobody will race you faster in these things than the lap cars. I can tell you that.
That's true. Don't want to get left behind.
Oh. One car on pit road here. It's the 10 machine of Rick Wilmot.
So that looks like he is taking that strategy in. And Jimmy Mullis now pitting as well. Here it is, lap 40, exactly halfway through tonight's race already.
Yeah, and Basin probably going to stay out there and try and run that tank out as far as he can. He has a huge advantage to play with. You just want to go out there on the freshest possible tires you can for this final stint.
Yep, fresh tires, one solid tank. Basin is well aware at this point of Mullis pulling in, I'm sure, and maybe of a few others who have decided to take their chances. Ken Campbell comes down now.
An impressive run for Basin. I don't think any of us had him circled as a favorite tonight.
No.
You know, we were all looking at the qualifying times and the practice times and everything, but that 48 car's just been bad fast since he unloaded.
And if we look at the qualifying times, Basin had a really good qualifying time. I got to say, in practice, he didn't have any practice. He didn't have any practice time. But he came out in qualifying and set a really good 31.03.
And here's Here's the other Lowe's machine tonight. This is the 48 machine of Mickelson. Apparently, the secret to the success was the cobalt blue. Looking at Williams now, 6 seconds back from your race leader.
It does make the car go faster.
Yeah, somehow. Mason's just on cruise control. Peterson's sitting in third right now, 8 seconds back. Oh, here comes Mullis trying to unlap himself. This is the difference that the new tires are making.
Oh yeah, watch it go. It's like a bat out of hell, like a rocket.
Yeah, Dylan Basin on pit road now, race leader, bringing it down.
Let's see where that puts things after we get some pits out of the new race leader, Landon Williams.
One thing Basin doesn't want to see right now is a caution. There's about 16 or 17 other guys that are praying for that, so.
Got to keep my energy up.
More cars coming down pit road. Second place, Landon Williams. Looks like he led Wilds down with him, so. Handful more of your leaders on pit road. Peterson and Gann still staying out. Gann with the lead now.
This is the big cycle right here. This is the shuffle. It's going to happen to everybody eventually. Well, with things
right
being,
now, Basin making the pass on Mullis right now. Pass for 7th position. And made that pass with ease, too. Those fresher tires playing into the hands of Basin. And that very well could be your battle for the lead.
It might just be right now. Justin Gann is still out. Spencer Peterson is in. Christopher Green is still out. The full cycle of leaders is going to occur here. We are going to take a short break and bring you the second half of this race with Justin Gann currently in the lead. Dylan Basin, our previous leader, chasing him down. Stay tuned.
Racing isn't easy.
Welcome back once again to the Team Conti Sim Performance Monthly Money Race. I'm Joe LaCastro in the booth with Sheldon Atkins down in the truck at Austin, Derbyshire, and we have the last 30 laps of this sprint to Las Vegas Motor Speedway to bring you live on Grid Vision. Sheldon, you've been enjoying tonight's race?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just bringing back, like I said earlier, a lot of memories from when I first got started on here, and a little bit of a straightforward, simple not a whole lot really going on kind of race, but you get that a lot sometimes. And it's nice to see this come down to who brought the best stuff and who brought the most talent. And right now, the one that looks like he brought it all is that 84 machine of Basson up there at the front.
He's been driving it like he's got something to prove tonight. Here's the onboard right now with Dylan Bazin. Bazin? I'm gonna say Bazin. Here's the onboard with Dylan. Whew. Got a great handle on that machine right now. He's really had a dominating performance tonight. He was a rocket off the line. Oh, big slide right there. He was a rocket off the line, and now he's still at it.
Wallace went for the undercut, couple laps of 4. Basin came down for tires, and you can see he's slowly just losing every lap to the 48 machine. Nope. Slow car down there on the bottom right now. Not helping that.
And that's going to be the name of the game here for some of these guys for the latter half of this race is can I make up this distance while also fighting getting around the slower cars who are obviously don't want to drop laps, but you know, when you're a lap down, there's not much that you can do aside from kind of politely get out of the way for the leaders.
And the chicken noodle man himself, Ken Campbell, working himself up into 3rd place right now, and probably one of the brightest paint schemes on the track, that 15 machine. Good little sponsored driver name pairing. Always love to see it.
Yeah,
always like to see when a driver can. You know, always like to see when a driver can have fun with it. That's a pretty mean looking car too. I like that. Just the colors pop on it.
Yeah. I thought it was a Budweiser car. Yeah, I thought it was a Budweiser car as well there.
Yeah, it has shades of the old Coors Light machine that Bill Elliott had back in the day. But definitely like that. Bright red. Dayglow colors belong on race cars. Oh, we got a caution.
What happened? Eric Semling? That was a name that we've seen a little bit here. The 69 machine of Eric Semling was down a lap or 2.
I don't know. No, it wouldn't be him.
Wasn't him. Yeah, I wonder who wrecked.
I'm scrolling through trying to
Could it
find.
have been the machine made a mistake?
No, the machine is all-knowing.
Okay, well, that's going to be a yellow flag. We've got a couple of laps now of caution on tonight's race. I didn't think we were going to have a caution for during tonight's race. These guys are racing so clean. As we bring things down, though, go on.
That's the way it typically goes. At least the way it typically went for me with these things. You get that first pit stop out of the way, feel like everything's great. You're on top of the world. Then get a couple laps in, then something happens somewhere.
Now let's talk about what this does for Dylan Basin.
It's gonna make it a little bit harder. He's, all that advantage that he had with his tires, with the pit cycle, every bit that he had, in the wheelhouse for him. Oh, out the window, clean slate. It's gonna be a dash to the finish here. Just about a 20-lap dash to the finish for $500. And you're going to you could potentially see some fenders get wrinkled, some tempers get fired up.
Kind of excited to see that, to be honest. Kind of excited. We've had some pretty good polite racing so far tonight. We've had one door banger that I think we recall, and I don't think it was intentional. We had that 3 wide situation. But let's see. We've got Basin back out on the track. Mullins behind him. Ken Campbell in 3rd. Mullins and Campbell both up 15 places from where they started tonight's race. So very, very impressive positions for these two gentlemen to find themselves in after starting towards the back of the pack. Also, Basin, after not having a practice time, but having a really rocket fast qualifying time, has been nothing but impressive. So with Mullins, Campbell, and Basin in the top 3, you've got 3 of the most impressive drives of the evening right now, all poised for the finish, for the podium, excuse me.
I'll tell you what, though, one that I think you should keep your eye on here from what I saw in the first run, that 5 machine of Williams as a really crafty on that first run. Really good haul on that long run. I think he might have something extra up his sleeve here. Because remember, he was able to pass Mullis on speed on equal tires.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Lights are off in the pace car. This is going to be the once around, folks, and then we're going to get things started. It is lap 58. We're going to be on lap 59 after the flag waves, and we're going to have about 21 more laps and 22 laps after that to wrap things up here and see who out of this 18 in the top 7 will split that $500 cash prize. And remember, it could be you. This is a race that you can join. You got yourself a wheel and some pedals. Come on out. Heck, you got yourself a controller. Come on out. You always hear stories about those guys on controller who were able to pull out some crazy victories here.
I couldn't. I could never.
I could never. I couldn't imagine it. It is witchcraft and wizardry. Speaking of wizardry, let's see if the wizard, the sorcerer, Dylan Basin, can cast yet another spell of dominance over tonight's field. There goes the pace car. We're looking for that restart zone. And we are green yet again on Grid Vision.
Basin with another good restart here. Going to get a nice car length and a half, 2 car length advantage over Mullis in second. Mullis, no competition from Campbell right there coming out of turn number 2. Mullis going to get away clean, right up in tow behind the 48 machine of Basin down the back straightaway. Still side by side, though. Williams up on the outside trying to make moves on the 15 machine of Campbell through 3 and 4. It's going to be dead heat coming down the straightaway.
Still in dead heat. He's out there, hung out a little bit, but it's not a situation where he's going to get any help. So he's just got to find the speed himself to get in front of that 15 of Ken Campbell.
I think he got it right there. Good run through 1 and 2 for Williams. Going to get him the advantage coming down the back straightaway. Oh, we got one almost around. The 64 machine almost had a hard wreck on the back straightaway. One hell of a save.
Very close, very close. Randy Sample right next door to him. That's the 24. Out in front, Basin getting chased by Jimmy Mullins. This is the most competition that Basin's had all night so far. Mullins, less than 2/10. Mullins, excuse me, less than 2/10. I need to get my glasses on. Off the bumper there.
Yeah, Mullins not letting him out of sight now. Showing everybody how he's earned that pro license throughout the years. Showing up in the late stages of these races when you think he's out. Here he is. All over the back bumper with just shy of 20 laps to go.
Driving hard. There on the outside, it looks like a bit of a move from the DeWalt 17. Is that, yep, that's, well, now down to the inside he's going. Instead, Spencer Peterson in that car.
Peterson to the inside of Mickelson here through 3 and 4. A little bit of a slide up the track. Almost touched doors coming out turn number 4. Everything clean, but Sample trying to put him 3 wide there for a second. Thinks better of it.
Yeah, that's not a situation anybody's going to walk out of. We've seen it happen before. I think it was Rick Wilmot or Larry McDonald who got bumped back after a pretty good 3-wide situation where he bumped right off the wall. We haven't seen him since in this race.
You guys seen that outside line playing advantage right now for Mickelson. Going to give him the drop coming down the back straightaway. But here comes Peterson back to the bottom in 3 and 4. Going to get right up on the door coming to the start-finish line.
And across we go. They're still side by side. It's anybody's race here between the 17 and the 48. Peterson, Mickelson now just a little bit ahead.
Yeah, neither one of these two are even thinking about the tires at this point, dogging each other every second of every lap. But the advantage going to Mickelson now. He's going to come down to the bottom and clear and take a little bit of the air off the nose of 17. And he's going to slide up into the 24 machine, Sample. And
Contact with the 24.
Contact with 64.
Yeah, that reverberated back. That was some cascade failure there. We saw that just a little bit of a tap to Sample. Sample fell back a little bit.
Well, it went all the way back to the 97. The 97 made a little bit of contact with the 64. Dominoes out here.
Yeah. Well, thankfully everybody held it down, and it was only a little bit of contact, as a treat.
Mullis still right in the shadow in the tire tracks of the 48 of Basin coming out of turn number 4. 15 laps to go here at the stripe.
I think that Melissa is giving Basin a run for his money, quite literally here. We know that Melissa is not eligible to win the prize money tonight, but Basin still wants to get that first place spot regardless, and it's going to look really good for him if he can hold off the pro.
Yeah, if you can hold off one of the Pro Series drivers in anything, doesn't matter who it is, it's a good feeling at the end of the day. And a lot of bragging rights, especially with the amount of money that's on the line for this event tonight. Basic's got 14 more laps to do it.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem like it seems like more than it's going to be. These laps are taking about 30 seconds per lap. So we're talking 14 laps. We're talking less than 10 minutes, 7 minutes roughly before the end of this race. If we're going at pace here, 8 minutes, and it's still a chance for Jimmy Mullis to make that pass.
I think there might be something to miss on Basin this run too, because look at how much Williams is close to 0.2 of a second. The last handful of laps on these leaders, slowly working himself into the picture. Now down to just under 0.8 of a second now.
It's hard to picture it after it, but he's really fallen back, yeah.
Mullis all over the back bumper now with Basin as we come out of 3 and 4.
Was that some smoke from the wall? I think one of the two of them maybe hit it.
Basin is sweating now.
Yeah.
Mullis is here now. Within a 10th.
Terrifying spot to be in.
Mullis is doing what I was talking about earlier. He's doing just a really good job of getting lower on the track than the car in front of him. Oh. Basin, a little bit of a blink.
To the astral plane and back goes Dylan Basin, trying to use some of that Comcast energy to see if he can win tonight's race on technicality. Still very close.
Yeah, what Mullis is doing right there, that's a pro caliber move. You see him funneling that left front of the car down. I mentioned earlier that the dirty air isn't a huge issue. It's still there. It's not as bad as it is in what we have currently. Trying to get every advantage he can as he dives it all the way down to the bottom of the track, trying to get the clean air to the nose of the thing. Not able to get the drive out of the corner, though. Basin doing a great job running that outside line to keep the momentum up.
Wow, I thought that was going to be Mullis's time. I thought that was going to be the move with capital T, capital M, but it was not, unfortunately. And you're right, Basin just used the momentum, the pure speed of the vehicle, and stayed ahead of Jimmy Mullis.
And what Mullis has to do right now is he has to make sure that he doesn't get hung up in that maneuver too many times in a row. If he can get up all the way up to the wall coming out of the corner like you see right there, no harm, no foul. But when you're having to pinch off your exit because you got somebody right there on your outside and you can't get the momentum down the straightaway, you will absolutely cheese grade those right front tires.
He doesn't make the same move here that he made in the previous laps. He doesn't send... he didn't send the 84 way up to the wall. The 48, excuse me.
Just the difference in geometry between the corners as they come through 3 and 4. This time, Mullis with a deep dive down to the bottom again, trying to find something, anything to get him in front of that 48 machine. But 8 laps to go, and the 48's in the wall.
Very close. He came down and blocked that move.
Oh, and Mullis all over the back bumper again through 1 and 2.
7 laps to go.
Within spitting distance from here.
Oh my goodness. He could reach out and turn off the ignition in Dylan Basin's car. He's so close to him.
Basin committing again to that outside line. Mullis all the way down to the bottom. Mullis going to get the advantage here. Not quite. Just about got the door.
Yeah. Almost had contact. Almost thought we were going to see some netcode even potentially just with how close they were there, but it was not to be, thankfully.
Oh, all over the back bumper, still through 1 and 2.
Oh, what a scary spot to be in.
I like what Bason's doing. He's committing to what he knows. He knows that he knows his strength up there on that outside line, and he's sticking to it, not trying to take the line from Mullis and put himself in a bad position. But Mullis is really charging. He might want to start thinking about that again. No, almost on the quarter pound of 1. Tell me one thing, if it was anybody else in the field, they would have had that 48 turned around by now.
Yeah, that's true. That 48 is in good hands with Dylan Basin.
Basin is lucky that that 29 machine isn't racing for the prize.
Yeah, he is. That would be the biggest slice, and it would be his to lose or win right now, but this fight is keeping him on his toes. We have 4 laps to go right now. We're on lap 76, folks. Excuse me, 5 laps to go. We got 5 laps of, got to do my NASCAR math. We got to add one at the very end there. Jimmy Mullis currently chasing down Dylan Basin.
Side draft.
Very close now. So I was going to say very close now. That side draft has got to be working for him.
Ooh. And look at this Basin trying to pinch the line off, try to hamper the momentum out of the 29 machine here on the front straightaway. Not able to really get the run that he needs, though, this time. It's going to bring Mullis a little bit closer this time at the line. I think Mullis is going to get him here in 1 and 2.
Side by side, going around now. Let's see if he
and
can.
they're going to
Look
touch.
at that.
Contact through 1 and 2. Both of them keep their foot in it, though, and both of them come out straight.
Look at him, giving him the squeeze.
Into
He's
3 and
not
4,
letting
they're
him
going
have
to
an
touch
inch.
again.
Let's see. He's not giving him an inch of room right now. Jimmy
And
Mullis.
Basin just barely clears a little bit of contact here at the front start-finish line. But Basin's got it for now. Now he's just got to try and defend. He's got to try and block the line. It's like a little bit of arrow loose into 1.
Oh my goodness.
He's wiggling
This
all
is-
over. That's a
is got me
term
on
you
the
haven't
edge of my
heard in
seat.
years. That's
Right?
a term you haven't heard in years. Arrow loose.
Well, in this car it applies.
Get up to that back bumper, take the air off the spoiler, and get the car in front of you freed up a little bit. And they're well within the range of that now. 2 laps
Well,
to go. Can Basin hold him off?
It's going to be working for Basin. It's going to be working for Mullis here, trying to get Basin a little bit loose. Basin wants to keep those back tires on the ground. He wants that speed, but he's losing it. We can see during the side draft, we see when he's right behind him, it's just not there. Right now, Mullis was side by side, but again, he's just able to get that quarter panel. Lap 79 right now. We just crossed the finish line. We've got the white flag out, I believe.
Oh, and a huge pinch into turn number 1. Going to take a little bit of air off the right side of Mullis. He's going to get a little free, but he's going to keep his foot in it. Side by side, door to door, coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
No,
Last
this is
time,
it,
and they're
folks.
beaten.
Yep, this is it. No friends or enemies. This is only war
and
now.
Mullis slides him up, but here he comes back, trying with the crossover out of turn number 4.
Can he do
He's
it? We're
gonna get
going
there.
into the trioval. He's there.
Oh, Basin around.
Basing around, but I think it might have been Mullis by just a nose there at the line.
What a battle.
Wow. Kept it about as clean as they could, folks. Let's get a replay of that finish.
And I love what Basin did here. Anybody, I was expecting to see him use the bumper. No, he goes right down with the hard cut underneath it, trying to use that momentum being on the top to try and dive under. And it all but worked if it wasn't for just the transition from the flat to the banking. One heck of a fight out of that man, though. Great drive.
Wow. Basin, after leading almost every lap of tonight's race, goes down to a shootout between him and Jimmy Mullis. Mullis takes it by a nose, by just barely a tenth of a second difference between those two cars at the start-finish line. What a race, folks, and congratulations to the top 7 splitting that prize money, with the exception of Jimmy Mullis, of course. Thank you, Jimmy Mullis, for participating and putting the pedal to these guys. And wow, very impressive
good.
race. let's do the breakdown. How about that? Let's the full breakdown of tonight's results. Jimmy Mullis in first place, Dylan Basin in second, Landon Williams in third, Ken Campbell in fourth, Daniel Wiles in fifth, Justin Gann in sixth, Wyatt Mickelson in seventh, Spencer Peterson in eighth, Joe Torres in ninth, and Russell Black in 10th.
11th place, you're going to have Travis Massier, followed by Randy Sample in 12th. 13th goes to Nick Baston, followed by John Connor in 14th. 15th place, going to be Christopher Green, followed by Rick Wilmot in 16th. And then running out your 18-car field is going to be Eric Semling and Larry McDonald.
Pretty darn good race. So let's get some guys up here into the booth and talk to them and see how they enjoyed tonight's race. We've got two names right now. I see Dylan Basin, who we'll talk to in a little bit, and
Mullis.
All right, so let's talk to Dylan Basin first, and you will talk to him, Sheldon. I'm going to pass it to you. Here you go.
Hey, Dylan, Sheldon up here in the Grid Vision booth. Just want to say, dude, one heck of a drive all night. Looked like you had the fastest car, and if that caution flag hadn't come out when it did, man, I swear, I'm pretty positive you had this thing locked up. But tell me about that. First off, tell me about just how did you have that much pace this evening?
Honestly, these cars, like high horsepower cars in racing, have always been my bread and butter. We don't get to race them very often, so I don't get to show that. But whenever I do any races in the COT or the old Gen 6 or the Gen 4, like it fits me so well. Like I need that high horsepower, I need the right rear slipping out and everything. And this time, like I didn't get any practice in tonight, but I went to the queue, just already knowing like how this car reacts to stuff, and drove in there and put the pole lap down, and obviously we had a great first run. I underfueled a little bit too much in the second run with me and Mullis battling, and with him pressuring me the whole time. I couldn't really run the line I wanted to, because I mean, he saw how hard it was for him to pass me. If I had let him go to save my stuff and then tried to come back, it would have just been vice versa. So it was a really fun battle though.
Yeah, so tell me about that battle, because you guys were racing as hard as you could, and you did everything but throw the kitchen sink at each other. A lot of respect in that battle. Just talk me through that a little bit, because I know you were sweating.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't stressing it too much, as I knew he wasn't eligible for the money. So it was kind of just more of a let's have fun moment, see how close we can get to each other, and just really just testing each other's limits right there. He had that bottom wrapping pretty good. I couldn't get the top to work until I needed at least 30 laps on tires, and we only had a sprint for like that long. I don't have the best pace until it gets to the late run where everyone's right rear really falls off. So I was a little concerned about having a short run, but I mean, I was just trying to see how hard I could race him and how hard he could race me without wrecking each other, And it's one of those few times you get to go in these high horsepower cars and battle one of the best.
Boy, dominating performance tonight and a great display of talent. Who all do you want to thank for this one?
I just want to thank the Conti guys and thank you for the broadcasts, and hopefully we can run more of these and we can have more great battles like this.
We're looking forward to it. Thanks for coming up here and talking with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Now I'm going to hand it over to Joe LaCastro with your race winner, Jimmy Mullis.
Hello, Jimmy. Can you hear us?
I can.
Hey, congratulations on tonight's win. Very good race. You had it cut out for you. 16 places up through the field over the course of 80 laps, and then that shootout with Dylan Basin. Tell us what once you got up there toward the front, when was the moment that you knew you had it in you?
Honestly, that last run is when I felt like I had a chance. The first run, Dylan was just blowing my doors off after like 20 laps, looking at like 2, 3, even 4 tenths faster than me. So shout out to him. He was insanely fast tonight. It's kind of, unfortunate to sneak it and steal it from him there at the end, because he had it locked up if we didn't get that yellow. So, but it was all in good fun. That was a really, really fun battle. Races like that are the reason that I decided to get on iRacing all those years ago, and I had a lot of fun tonight. That was a really enjoyable race, and just sliding around, no grip, hanging it all out there, and just letting it eat. That was a lot of fun, and hopefully put on a good show there at the end.
You guys put on an amazing show at the end of this. We were talking all race about how this is kind of a throwback experience for a lot of these guys. So, and I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of experience with your career, but I'm assuming you're one of those guys who has a lot of experience. Was it a fond memory coming back to these cars?
Absolutely. I got into the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series in 2017, so we had that for these kinds of cars for the last 2 years, or I guess my first 2 years in the series. And in 2019, that's when we started getting all the high downforce and low horsepower garbage, as I would call it. But, it is what it is. This stuff is just so much more fun, man. It really, brings the driving out of it, and strategy in terms of how you try to pace yourself and manage the race and manage your car, and just all around, it's so much fun. And it was just really cool to be able to kind of go back in time a little bit tonight. And God, I got reminded that if I want to keep up in these things, I got to put in some work, because I've transitioned so much to the current stuff that when this thing got loose on me, man, I was out to lunch.
Well, you put on a great show. Like I said earlier, you and Dylan really had an amazing shootout there at the end. So thank you to Team Conti for getting these guys in the older cars, and thank you for coming out and putting on a show about how to finish a race. Is there anyone you want to shout out to tonight?
Yeah, of course. I want to give a shout out to Kevin Harvick Incorporated and Treetop for all their support over on the eNASCAR side of things. And I also want to just give a huge shout out to Michael Conti and everybody that's a part of TCSP, not only for everything they do, but obviously for putting on this event and allowing me to come out and just mix it up with these guys. I wasn't in it for the money, just wanted to have fun, and I definitely accomplished that tonight. So just, thankful to be a part of such a great group, and excited to move on from this and continue to watch TCSP grow.
Well, he wasn't in it for the money, folks, but he definitely won all the glory. That was Jimmy Mullis. Thank you, Jimmy, for your time. We look forward to maybe seeing you out here again real soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right, folks, that was it from our podium. Sheldon, how you feeling after tonight's race?
Man, honestly, well, melancholy, because I know it's going to be a while before I get to see these things on track again. God, I miss the Gen 6 car back when we had horsepower, and you actually had to drive these things. But a great performance by Bass in there to just absolutely dominate this thing from start to almost finish, and great moves by Mullis to be able to get himself into the picture there at the end to get the win snagged away. And man, I'm excited. How long we got to wait till the next one?
About a month.
Hurry up. Bring us back.
That's what they call it, the Team Conti Sim Performance Monthly Money Race. But we'll be back in the booth together, I'm sure, and with our man down in the truck. But we're going to go ahead and call it here, folks. We really enjoyed bringing you. I really enjoyed this race. I don't get a lot of experience with Las Vegas, and I definitely don't get a lot of experience with the older cars. So getting a chance to go around and see things from a different perspective was a lot of fun. So from the entire Grid Vision team, we want to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. Especially, it was nice to see folks reaching out. Be sure to do that a lot more. Folks love engaging with you. For more information on getting your league broadcast or starting your career in broadcasting, give us a contact on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations again to Jimmy Mullis for winning tonight's race from Las Vegas. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and Austin Derbyshire. Hey, we'll see you next time on the grid.